Failures and Fakes contains explicit language and content that is not suitable for children. Hello, and welcome to Failures and Go clean your fucking room. Lithuania.
Is that a country?
It's a battery. He peed on the singer. He was a toilet.
No, man,
And instead of Batman, it's bread.
how'd you like that Irish cream this morning?
No.
Failures and Fakes is a podcast, so grab your friends and cast some pawns.
Hello, and welcome to Failures and Fakes. My name is Cooper Nichols, and I am your host, and I'm in front of a fire outside in the wilderness, in front of a live studio audience of some bugs and Angela Shinkarenko. I am joined by Tyler TJ Kenny Nichols.
Hi, that's me.
Hi, TJ.
I haven't heard Kenny in a long time.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm also joined by Parker Schultz.
Bitburger.
Yes, thank you. I'm also joined by Kyle Schultz.
What's up, people?
Yeah, it's party time here in Idaho.
So this is a first in a long time. It hasn't been
Yeah.
the original podcast.
It's literally
original
like the
squad.
four of us plus Angela sitting there probably getting sick of dick jokes.
Which honestly, that's
We
what it
haven't
was
done this in
before too.
years.
She would come home after work for like the last 30, 45 minutes
yeah,
of
she'd
the
walk
episode.
downstairs looking so fucking disappointed,
Yep.
and I
Oh, yeah.
always thought she was
'Cause
just going to leave me.
How many times could I hear cock from the door to the basement? Like 40.
It's New Year's Eve 2024. We are sitting outside of TJ and Parker's house in front of Parker's gigantic, beautiful fire, and we are drinking... What are we drinking?
Bitburger.
Bitburger.
So what's the deal? It's good beer.
Parker,
it's
if you want to
premium
talk,
Pils,
you
it
ought to
says.
put the mic up to your mouth.
What's the deal with it?
Yeah, like why is it a big deal?
So when we went to Germany, it was like in the vending machines, it was on the plane, it was everywhere.
They have beer and vending machines in Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they also had cigarettes in the vending machines too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angela.
Yeah. So we the first time Parker drank was
Warm
in
ass.
Germany.
Oh, really?
Bitburger.
And so what we did, because we were both, I was kind of worried about getting ID'd at the grocery store too, but I was like, it should be fine. And then we brought it back and we hid it from Kyle and Dawson.
But we spilled it under the bed.
Yeah, so we opened it, and then one of them came in, and we're like, fuck, so we just slid it under the bed. And then it spilled, and then our whole room smelled like beer.
Did anybody
But
notice?
no.
No?
Kyle would like come in and play games on his iPhone 3GS.
Hell yeah.
And
Back when I had jailbroken it and I had fucking SNES emulators on there. Yeah.
So he like came in, and me and TJ were looking at each other like, holy shit. I mean, we spilled beer. If Kyle finds out that we were having beer, Kyle's going to be really mad.
So this was like 10 years ago?
At least. No, it would have been more.
12?
So you were both minors.
I was
You probably
19 or 20.
were. Yeah.
And then
I wasn't legal to buy alcohol in the States.
But in Germany, you can buy alcohol whenever the fuck you want because they have a free country.
was that when we went to Stuttgart?
Stuttgart.
Oh, so it was time
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah, it was the
because
first time.
Because the second time, we were all at the pub, including you.
Oh yeah, I got fucking thrashed.
So
3
something
nights in a
happened
row.
between the first time and the second time.
A lot.
An ideological shift.
There
that
was
was a year.
There was the turning point, and I don't know what we were doing, but we were down in our old room after I probably had moved into my Harry Potter closet, but at the parents' house, and you were on your laptop, Parker, and TJ was sitting right there, and I think we were vaping or something, and there was like something wrong with the vape, and I said that cuts like a motherfucker, or that burns like a motherfucker. And that was like the first time I ever said motherfucker. You guys looked at me like, he's in. Yeah, that was the turning point.
Kyle's cool now.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't mean to say that. I did say oh shit, but I didn't mean to say that.
Dear listeners, my mom sponsored this
mom.
episode.
Oh, I thought you meant that's your listener.
Shout out Kim Nichols.
Our one listener. Hi, Kim.
Our one
Hi,
listener,
Mom.
Kim Nichols.
It's just
we
you.
love you.
Happy New Year.
Our biggest fan.
So, Mom, we bought a cheesecake for Angela to bring and share with Parker's wife Hannah.
Oh, that's what was
Well,
underneath
Hannah's
your
off
Jeremiah.
to work, so she doesn't get any cheesecake. So
I ate
sucks to
half
be
of that
her.
before I brought it
But
here.
thank you, Mom. Thanks for
Not gonna
sponsoring the
lie.
episode with your cheesecake. This concludes the ad segment.
So I kind of want to get back on topic so we have a conversation. But I don't know if Parker has anything to say about this, but Kyle has played shows with us since we've done the podcast. Like, we've played shows and shit.
Well, yeah.
We
Yeah, I
haven't
don't
talked
know.
about any of that.
Oh, yeah.
10 maybe?
When we stayed at that house, the Airbnb with Lightworker,
Yeah.
and we just hung out in the fucking freezing ass cold
Just like
all
this.
night, just like talking for out. Like, some of the best memories are just like those,
Yeah.
just sitting and talking.
When was this? Like 2020?
Was that in Bend?
We stayed
This is
out.
last
It was
year.
in Bend
Okay.
when we had the Airbnb.
Remember,
but then we
it was
also stayed up and
freezing
talked.
cold.
It was just us three.
Yeah.
It was the night everyone was tired.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought a whole bunch of pizza thinking that we were going to have a party. And everyone's like, oh,
Saddest shit I've ever heard.
oh, we're going to bed. Oh. Well, good thing these only cost like $1.50 a piece.
I didn't think we bought 8 of them though. I think we had pizza for breakfast. Did we not? I think we did.
Yeah, we left some there.
This is the saddest mental image I think I've ever had.
Well, because the time that we stayed at an Airbnb before, we partied pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of the assumption
The
that we would do the same
expectation.
thing. But I
They
think
had
it
to
was,
get up early and drive back
But you
to
know, like-
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those, like the fun party, like loud, having a good time with everyone is fun. But like those more like, let's just the three of us hang out and talk, and I don't know. Those are more like special moments.
Yeah.
How much have you guys toured since you got back together? Not very much, right? Like,
We've played quite a few shows.
but have
Probably,
you
like,
done any like longish tours?
40 shows total, maybe?
The longest one was this year. It was 2 weeks,
Yeah.
12
yeah.
days.
Oh,
I think
it
it was
wasn't-
12 days
went to,
total.
was
wasn't 2
Kansas?
weeks.
Was that where you guys' end date was? Or the festival was in Kansas or something?
No. It was in
It was
Illinois.
Illinois. Oh, okay.
And then we came back through and went to Salt Lake and then came home. But other than that, we've only done like weekend stuff
Mm-hmm.
or just one-offs.
When you guys played Portland and Angela and I came and saw you guys, was that like October last year?
Yeah.
There was the girl that watched you guys from outside.
You know what?
Yeah, we did.
She's
Did we
on.
not tell
I
you?
think she's
Is
a
she-
patron, or she's
I
on
think she's on the Discord.
Mackenzie.
I think that's
She's
her,
come
right?
out. Okay, so she was outside because she couldn't get in.
Yeah.
She couldn't because she wasn't 21. But she came to the next show, and
Oh.
she got in.
Really?
Super fucking cool. And then she showed up to like, she was at the home team shows.
Okay.
And we played with them.
Yeah.
Like, she drove all the way out to Tacoma.
Holy
like
shit.
her and her partner or whatever. Like they, yeah, it was. They're really cool.
I just remember like seeing her outside and she was just like, she looked so happy.
She got a shout
And
out.
so
didn't she,
stoked.
From Dawson?
Yeah, I think Dawson did
Yeah,
say
he
something.
did.
It was
Yeah.
really cool because she was like, I think she was wearing a TOC shirt and she looked like just super stoked to be there. She was just like pressed against the
It was
glass of the
fucking
window. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
shit.
It was really cool.
She's I think she's a tattoo artist or trying to be a tattoo artist.
That sounds right
Yeah.
because she did something on she said something on the Discord.
Yeah,
but
that like that amount of dedication or like that's wild to me that someone who would be willing to do that.
yeah. Is that like a mind fuck for you guys to have like? I mean, obviously you guys aren't the biggest band in the world. You're the second biggest band in the world, but like, is it a mind fuck to have some fans that are like super, completely dedicated to you guys?
Very odd.
Especially this long, like after you guys like left the band and came back and everything, and you just have.
I know,
that
like
level
what,
of
like with like a
dedication?
6-year hiatus or something like that,
Yeah.
or at least 5.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Yeah.
Like because I wouldn't do that. I don't think I would do that for a band. And I love music. Like I love music, and I don't think I would drive 6 hours after just seeing a band play. Like I don't know. That's really special.
I feel that way about people that are in our Discord and like super active, which shout out to the people in our Discord, but also like I'm the same way. Like I love music. I spend a lot of my free time like listening to music, making music. I spend a decent amount of time in like music Discords and stuff. But even then I'm not that active.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that much of a participant. I'm not that much of like a contributor or anything. And the fact that there's people like there's like what, 100 people in the Discord, and
Yeah.
so many of them are like
talking
active there
day.
every single day is
Yeah.
fucking. I mean, it's insane, but in a good way. Of like,
I don't talk to anybody
how?
every single day.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
No,
it's
wild.
cool, but it's kind of crazy to me, like being kind of on the outside of that, but also somewhat involved in it. Just seeing that level of like activity from people, especially because like there are people in our Discord who are in bands
Yeah.
and who are that active in the
And
Discord
are like doing
and
like cool
constantly-
stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like are doing their own thing. They're like, you know, playing different kinds of music and shit. I think it's really cool, but it also is kind of a mindfuck to me of like, how the fuck do you have the time and energy to do this? Probably working a full-time job. You're in a band. You probably have like some level of family engagement.
Yeah.
I just don't get it, but I also think it's cool.
I mean, people love music that much, I guess, and that's like their hobby and like what they spend their free time doing.
Yeah, but
which
they
is,
love you guys that much.
Well,
That's
yes,
the thing.
no, I know
what it is.
that's really
like
weird.
Different. Yeah, and that's what doesn't like compute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
It's on your
Wow, TJ's on fire. Dear listener, TJ
Ow,
is
that's
dead.
hot.
Oh, fire is hot.
No shit.
I don't know how serious you guys want to get on this podcast episode, which is like the 3rd/43rd episode. But I was thinking about like ideas of shit to talk about, and I was kind of curious what you guys like enjoyed this year in terms of music or media in general.
I enjoyed buying physical music this year.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
He bought lots.
You got cassettes and shit.
Yeah, and CDs.
Yeah,
and vinyls.
because you're an old man now.
And some vinyl, but it ain't worth it.
Was there any like records that stood out to you?
Records?
Like, well, any albums? That
Any
stuck out to you?
albums that stood out?
I think he's talking purely on a musical level.
Music albums.
Is there anything?
LPs.
Yeah.
Digital.
Well, a lot of it was stuff that I've already been listening to. I bought a couple new things.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite's definitely going to be Clancy.
By
Yeah.
21 Pilots.
That was the best CD I bought this year, for sure.
I don't
Are
think
you
it's
on that page
strictly
TJ?
though on what you've bought. I think
I
it's
don't
also
know.
like just things you've heard in general. I don't think he cares whether or not you bought it as far as your opinions on the rest of the music
What
scene.
what I really like right now is the dude from Kingsfoil.
I don't know what that is. That sounds like a video
Is
game.
he doing new stuff?
No, but he did for a minute,
Oh.
and it's called Astro Lasso.
This is
I did
Frankie
check that
Muniz's.
The orange,
right?
I like the orange EP a lot. Like every song
Oh.
slaps.
I've listened to a couple from on Spotify, but I didn't really get
Oh.
into it.
Did you listen to the blue one?
I don't know.
I don't really like the blue
It was like
EP.
right when it was
I like
coming
the
out,
orange
though,
one.
so it might have been.
No.
Parker's also been doing something interesting too, where he's been getting different tapes, right? So you got tapes from some random bands that you didn't even hear before you bought them.
You're talking cassettes now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I wanted to test out to see how they sounded. Because there's a company that makes them for bands, and so I found one that I thought would be decent.
Like newer albums?
Yeah,
Oh.
because I want to do
You bought
cassettes.
some random ones?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, what was one of the bands? Because it was actually kind of cool.
I forgot, but it's
Yeah.
decent. It's pretty good.
Sorry, band. Your fame
But-
will
I mean-
never happen.
But they
now.
only do stuff on tape, right? Like they don't have any like online presence.
Just Bandcamp.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I
Yeah.
That's ballsy.
yeah.
I respect that. I think it's stupid,
was-
but also good for you.
It was good. I mean, I just bought one, but they sent me like 2 or 3 extra ones. They're older. They're
really?
older.
And one of the records actually had some good, like really good songs on it. So
Really?
yeah.
Do you have a
It's kinda
cassette player in the
interesting.
house?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hooked up.
Is it
Yes,
Dad's
I
old
do.
cassette player?
No,
It's not?
no, I bought it.
Oh, okay.
It's hi-fi, Kyle. It's the best format.
It's a 3-head.
Ah,
Oh, and he also got his old boombox recently too,
What the fuck?
with a CD player.
no, you didn't
dope.
get it. That's the one from the house, is
I
it not?
stole it because
I stole it from my mom.
I actually stole it. I didn't tell anyone I was getting it.
Oh, that's not
But-
a Parker
I
thing.
mean,
to
it's
do.
been sitting out in the garage at my parents' house for years. So I used to play. I think that was a gift for me when I was like 10 or something. I probably got that when I was 10 or 11. That boom.
Oh wow.
It's a nice
Yeah.
unit, but the cassette player doesn't work right
Oh.
now. I don't know if I'll tear into it. We'll see. But CDs work great.
Kyle, was there any new music you listened to this year that you
No, I don't listen to new music.
just old shit, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to old music either.
You just don't listen to music?
I don't listen
music
to music.
agnostic.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
The band is called Semaphore.
Steamaphore?
Semaphore.
Semen 4?
S-E-
Foreskin.
S-E-M-A-P-H-O-R-E.
Semen 4.
Their newest EP or whatever album. I think it's an album.
Just call it a
It's
release.
actually pretty good. Me and TJ both liked it, so.
What I'm
pretty
most
rare.
excited for, if you're curious, because it's tangentially related at least, but we got one record each for Saloon. Like as like a, here you guys go, here's a record, free.
Yeah, you like each got a copy.
And so I bought 2 more. So I have one I'm going to keep sealed. I have one of each because there's 2 different prints or whatever on the different.
Oh yeah, there's 2 colors,
There's
right?
like 2 colors.
Yeah.
So I have each of those opened, and same thing with again. I have each kind opened, and then I have one sealed. I want to take apart the saloon doors.
Yeah.
That we use, like the swinging barn or saloon doors.
Like you still have those?
I think we do.
Oh wow.
I want to take those apart, and I want to use the verticals because those are like run full length. I want to use those for a frame, and I want to make a frame for the Saloon album and like all the stuff it has, and make that a display. And then I have some wood from my old house that it kind of felt like that was part of the same chapter. Like when we made
Yeah.
it again, it was right around when we sold our old house, and so there's a lot of building and stuff I did. So I have some wood from my old house I want to make the again display out of, and then I have enough wood to make, if we end up doing the handmade album, like as a vinyl,
Yeah.
then I have enough pine from the drums when we did the drums to make a frame out of that. So I'm really
Wow.
excited to make some displays.
Well, because you made the
That's fucking
the
cool,
doors
Kyle.
for Saloon, right?
I didn't make the doors. No, we bought those.
Well, yeah, but you were the one that put them up.
I had to build a frame for them.
Yeah.
Like a frame that we just like.
Kyle, take some credit. God damn it! Just say you did everything because you're a man and you're cool.
No, I didn't have enough skill back then probably to make the doors, but that could be something I could see myself doing
Yeah, but
now.
I saw a clip on the Dropbox where you were like building the frame for him, and I was like, damn.
Yeah,
Kyle's
because we
cool.
couldn't drill into it, so it had
You
to
had
be
like
like
build
a
like a shim thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I made it like a 1/4 inch small or whatever, and then I shimmed it so that it was tight. So that when
Yeah.
you kicked it open, it wouldn't fall out, because I couldn't do anything to
Yeah.
screw it into the existing frame. So that's what I'm really excited for.
So
And
your favorite album that came out this year was your own 10-year-old record that came out on vinyl this year.
We were just talking about this, how bad some of the songs are, how dumb some of the
they're
lyrics
all
are.
perfect. I mean,
But I mean, how many people get to say like, "Oh yeah, here's my record," and it's
yeah,
on
it's fucking cool, dude.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
when Again came out, like I don't buy physical media anymore, but when Again came out, I bought the vinyl because I was like, I have a credit on this record. Like if I buy this,
yeah,
my
you
name's
do.
gonna be on there, and that's fucking insane.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not something I ever thought would happen. I get it. Like
Yeah.
it's a little bit like indulgent or whatever, but like at the same time, like if you can make that happen, it's
like it's a part of your legacy,
Yeah.
though. It's like something
yeah.
that you
Like I was gonna regret
Yeah,
it
enjoy
if I
it.
didn't get all of it.
yeah.
And I've got
absolutely.
like a sign, like, 'cause we don't have any CDs left either. They're not going to print any more CDs. So I made sure I got a couple of those that are sealed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have a sealed vinyl and a sealed CD. And I'm just so excited about being able to see it. And at least
Yeah.
it's there. And even if I just hardly glance at it when I walk down the hall or wherever it is, like it's just a really cool thing that I can't believe we did that.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, for all of you guys, that was such a huge period of your life, and
Yeah.
especially because it happened during anybody's most formative years, and like just that age where you kind of like figure out what you want to do and who you are and shit. Like it's a big deal if you're able to get that kind of a thing done. I think there's a lot of people that have creative pursuits that, for one reason or the other, aren't able to follow through on it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like anybody having a vinyl release
I
or
mean,
like
I-
any
I
physical
never
media
thought in
release
a-
is
in a million
fucking
years.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Never
it's
thought.
a huge achievement.
And
That's
it's
awesome.
there's that like, what do you want to call it? It doesn't feel like, if it was just like a vinyl that we had printed ourselves or whatever, it wouldn't have like that significance either. Like having to like deal with solid state.
Like it was a legit
like-
official thing. It wasn't
dear
some
Lord,
bootleg.
just print the vinyl for God's sake,
Yeah.
like But it sounds like they were fairly reasonable, and then they did it for Again, no problem. So I expect Handmade is a potential too.
So we met the guy from Original Vinyl when we were playing on this last tour.
Yeah.
And he was super sick. I don't know if I told you this.
No, but he was the guy that pressed Saloon, right?
Saloon, yeah. He created the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, that was his baby, and Unoriginal Vinyl is based on CoverGirl. Like,
Yeah.
he created his company based on our band, which is insane.
I gotta tell you, I cried like a little baby bitch when I saw his, because he made an Instagram post.
I
when
did
he
not know
announced
that.
he was doing
Yeah.
that. Was like his
Oh,
company
that's
was
so
founded
cool.
based off of that song. That was incredible to me.
Dude, it blew my mind. And he's like our age, and he like came out to the show. He was super cool, and he was like, I don't care what Solid State says, we're doing Handmade. Like, I'll put the whole thing together for you guys. He's like,
gosh.
I will do anything for you. He was like, come out to my van, and he like brought Parker out there, and he gave us like a bunch of energy drinks and like a bunch of like stuff to keep us going on tour. Like,
Oh, what a nice guy. That's awesome. I did
Super
not
cool.
realize, Dawson never told me about the unoriginal, like
Yeah.
that it was part of CoverGirl.
Like, I didn't know that because I don't like seek stuff out from our band.
Yeah, you don't like watch that stuff.
I don't look out for it most of the time, so I didn't see it, and I'm not on social media a lot, so I didn't see the post.
Yeah.
And then to like find that out in person,
That's fucking
like,
cool, dude.
to meet that man that
Yeah.
like put that together, like I had no idea of any of it. It was, yeah. It kind of brings me back to what you were saying before about like a lot of people don't get the opportunity to create something like Saloon.
I mean, it's not the best record in the world. None of them are the best records in the world.
Yeah.
Although, again, I feel like
Parker is lighting off fireworks.
Oh God. I knew
Bottle Rocket from
He's been in the
Parker.
garage for a
I
while.
was wondering where he was. He just did one?
Yeah, he's competing slowly but surely.
He just went inside.
Look at my little one.
Anyway,
It's crazy that like we're not a big band by any means, and we never were, and we never will be. But we had such an impact on that one person that created an entire business.
yeah.
That like was like the concept was around our band. That's fucking
Like
crazy.
you inspired somebody to the point where he changed, his life trajectory.
Yeah.
You like literally changed somebody's life
What?
to the point where he's doing something that maybe he never thought he would do, or you inspired him to do something he wanted to do. That's
or even
fucking
if it's
crazy.
just the name, like that's in itself is super cool.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of the guy that's in the Discord. I can't remember his name, but he's the one that made the Handmade video essay.
Oh yeah.
He made a YouTube video just called like the ongoing concept, and then it says in parentheses headphones recommended or something like that, right? He made a video essay based on you guys, and then 10 years later, he's in the Discord.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
remember
active in
like
there.
watching that video, and I think I commented on it too because
Yeah.
I was like, "It's actually pretty interesting how accurate you were." with
Yeah,
some
like
of
he
the
made
stuff.
some really good insights into where you guys were coming from and stuff, and then literally a decade later plus, he's in the Discord interacting with you guys and everybody else, and like that's such a long lasting, like you are. I mean, I don't want to like be over dramatic about it, but you are making genuine impact to people's lives. I think that's kind of like one of the qualities that a smaller band like you guys has is like, yeah, you don't appeal to everybody. There's not some universal catchy thing that you're trying to do, but like what you are doing is deeply impactful to the people that it does connect with. Like it's not like a
Weird.
Bad Omens thing where like everybody can listen to it and be like, oh yeah, this is cool, whatever, and forget about it the next day. But it's a micro scale, but still like the actual scale of the impact that you guys do have.
And it feels like it's almost more. Maybe that's my like coming to terms with the fact that we never became a big band or like made it, quote unquote, in people's eyes. It's so special. Like those relationships and those connections that we've built over the years.
Yeah.
Like there's a guy named Seth who's he was in our Failures and Fakes music video when we filmed it. And he showed up because we posted on Facebook. And I saw him like a year or two ago when we played in Spokane.
And that music
Seth?
video came out
Who's
like
Seth?
what, 12 years ago?
You probably don't know him because he like showed up for a day on the video
Yeah.
set and like just walked downtown Coeur d'Alene, and I talked
okay.
to him,
Okay.
and then he's like a grown adult holy shit, like I don't know him, but like to see that he still follows us. And
just a little piece of history right there. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah. I wonder, like, I mean, it would be interesting to get a bunch of, like, I feel like the Overseer would be a really good example. Like, I feel like they attain a similar amount of success. And if they have, because I feel like they do have that sort of underground following or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But I wonder how common that is with smaller bands. That it seems to me, like, and I would say this is true of the Overseer, and that maybe it's something of the same with us. But we don't ever hit the mark. We're close. When we put out music and stuff, you see the progression, you see how things have changed, you see how things have gotten better, and maybe they've gotten worse too, but there's like a level of growth or like a genuine, like, we're going to try this and see what happens, that maybe people are connecting with more so even than how good the music is in and of itself. It's
like the sincerity of it connects with people.
I wonder if that's what it is, because we are very genuine and take a lot of time to make sure that things sound how we think they should sound.
It's like, even if it's not perfect and we didn't send this to the best like engineer in the world, and we didn't have the best producer in the world guiding us on how to write a song, we did the most authentic, best job we could, and it came out the most authentically it could.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought it was really fascinating with Dawson. Like, Dawson isn't the best in the world when it comes to, you know, whatever he does, because that's not how it is. Like, the reality is that, like, no musician, no artist, no engineer, no producer is at that level, but Dawson's always done what he thought was like the best idea. He's always gone in the direction that he thought was the best direction. And that comes out even if the mix isn't absolutely stellar. Like, you can still feel some sense of genuine.
Yeah.
He puts his heart into it for sure. And I think that's got to be a huge weight on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, he's always burdened with that. Like, I don't know if this is the right direction, because I would say, like, thought leader wise, he's the one for the band. Like, if without Dawson, I don't think we had what it took, especially back then, to like deal with the vision. Dawson's always had the vision. Kudos to him for sure, because I mean, I've never had that sort of vision for the music and where it should go.
It wasn't even just the vision, though. It was just the audacity to fucking do it.
Like, it was like fuck it, I don't care, I'm gonna do it, whatever.
Like, and I think that's what it really takes.
That's very true.
Blind, like, delusion and
absolutely.
I can do this. Like, I'm like, even if it was from a bad place of ego or just like immaturity, you know, like whatever it is, like whatever it takes, you know, like he was
I'm gonna
willing
make this
to
happen.
fucking do it, and none of it would have happened without Dawson.
Yep. No, that's
at all.
He had that drive for sure, and I don't think we understood what that meant. I didn't understand what that meant back then. I do now. Like, how valuable that is.
Yeah.
And I've implemented that sort of passion and drive in other things in my life. But maybe if we would have been on better terms when it was going around the first time, and he would have been able to communicate that sort of passion that he had, I think we could have been a better team.
Yeah.
From the get-go, you know. But yeah, Dawson definitely has held this together for the most part.
Parker, do you want to tell the audience what's on your feet right now?
I'm wearing camo Rugged Sharks, which are
what is
Walmart,
a Rugged Shark?
We're Walmart brand Crocs.
So why are they camo? So the frogs don't see you?
Well, they're fuzzy. They're furry on the inside.
Oh, daddy. Tell me more.
It's warm.
They're legit. For $18, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, Walmart.
Wait, what are they called? Cummy sharks?
Rugged Shark.
Rugged Sharks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember that. I feel like Crocs is so much more memorable.
Sharks.
Oh, yeah.
They should call them Alex. Shreks.
Shreks. Only ogre wear me. See my toe? It's green. Fungus on nails.
See my other toe?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
And the rest of us are wearing normal people shoes. And Angela's judging Parker hardcore.
Well,
I don't know. He looks pretty comfy.
my feet are warm.
I might have to get some
Mine sure aren't.
Rugged Sharks. This episode is sponsored by Walmart. Rugged Sharks. $18.
And
Your mom-
cheesecake.
Your
Thanks,
mom
Mom.
can get you a discount.
Love you, Mom. Is everybody's half of their front body cold and the half of their back body is cold?
I feel like don't have toes anymore.
I feel like my knees are literally burning.
Like I
in
want
hell.
to put my feet in the fire, but
You should get some rugged sharks.
It's I guess kind of going back to like talking about those displays earlier and stuff, but I've been really intrigued lately over the last, I guess only probably a couple months, but I did like a picture frame for my work as like a Christmas gift for my boss kind of.
okay.
And I incorporated like the aluminum that we use on a daily basis into it, and I metal stamped like a song, like a make fun of you song that one of our other coworkers made about the old guy that might be retiring. He hurt himself or whatever. So like I had a whole lot of fun. It's like this. It's called the Wah Wah song. Because like you'll tell his name is Rob. It's this. He's like 61 now, and he's been building the frames, the window frames for like 20 years now. He's been with the company for like 39 years. And the field guys will come back after their day of working out in the rain or in the snow or whatever, and they'll be like, God damn, it was so cold out there today. And he'll be like, oh yeah, was it cold? Wah! Go cry to your mom. Or whatever. He'll like say stuff like that.
Is he a South Park character?
I'm not kidding. It's just, he's from this area. He's from this area, so like it doesn't make any sense that he's got this weird like almost like Massachusetts accent,
Like
but
Midwest?
he does. But anyway, so the song goes, and this was made by another coworker. He's a really funny guy. But it's take both your hands
Really funny guy.
and make a couple fists. Put them up by your eyes and rotate your wrists. Do the wah wah.
Do the Wah Wah?
Do the wah wah. So I like metal stamped this thing into a piece of aluminum from one of our windows into this chunk of walnut that I bought. That was really fun because it took a little bit to get to what the final design was, but it all works together. It looks really cool, and it's like how much more like niche towards like the sort of work that we do could you get with it being out of the metal that we use, right?
Yeah.
And I like inlaid this piece of aluminum into this piece of walnut, and I put
That's so awesome.
I put this little like picture in there, so it's a picture of him. I had to gotta get him involved, so I have this like picture of this old guy that's always just a big old grump. So that was super fun, and then I went from that.
The most fun you've ever had.
Honestly, like I was like so excited, and I was like obsessed with this little piece of art that I was making. and then I proceeded. That was like the middle of December. So then the last couple weeks, I was building a picture frame for a map of the San Juan Islands for Courtney. She used to spend a lot of time sailing in the San Juans with her grandparents, and then when her grandma passed away, that was when her grandma passed away, it was the worst time of her life probably, but like very special person to her. So I bought this map of the San Juans, and then originally I was like, maybe I should make the frame out of like walnut or something. And then I realized, nah, it's got to be out of driftwood. So I spent something like 40 to 50 hours building this frame out of driftwood.
Wow.
Because it was all custom like cuts and stuff.
Wow.
So it looks really good. I had to go and like find these pieces of driftwood over in the Clark Fork there, over by Ponderay. You have to go around Hope. That really made me excited, like seeing that come to life.
That's
it was like
fucking cool.
Exactly like I liked it, right? Or like I imagined it. So, so it looks really cool. I'll show you some pictures later. But I've also done it with music a little too. I have a song that I'm going to go and record, I think on Sunday. Maybe Dawson's talked to you about it or Parker's talked to you about it. But
No.
I don't know if it's worth anything. But it's that same thing that you're talking about. Like I love it. Like I haven't written a piano song like from start to finish. It actually been like this is done. I've finished the song like this. I don't know what I could do with this to make this any better.
Yeah.
And so it's like a 3-minute song. I love it. I'm gonna go record it. You guys might just throw it in the trash because I don't know how you're gonna use it.
Kyle.
But so that's been like something I've been really inspired about, and I have these couple other art projects that I want to do.
That's awesome,
including the display frames for the records and stuff.
Yeah,
and there's a couple other things I've been thinking about doing, and it's just I don't know.
remember whenever we were doing the podcast before 4 years ago, I remember you. I don't know if it's the same song, but I remember you talking about a song that you had written on the piano and you couldn't finish it.
It's not that song. I hate that song.
Yes,
I cannot finish that song.
That's the best end to a story I've ever heard.
I cannot. I've played around with that song. It's been a voice memo on my phone for like 10 years, and I think I'd written that song way before that even. So, because I got my
and you
phone
just got
like 10
too
years
into
ago.
it, and now you can't finish it.
That's crazy that you've thought about it that long. Because I have songs that I've written 10 plus years ago that I've just like, that's just
Garbage.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it's done.
Kind of forgotten about it.
Yep.
But I guess I write enough to where it's so fleeting. Like
Yeah.
it's so special in the moment, but then
Like the next day, you're over.
Oh.
it.
yeah.
No, it's just those two though. The one I finished.
Really?
I'm so excited about it. And then there's that one I can't finish. And there's just
Wait, who's recording it? Is Dawson recording it?
I'm just gonna go and do it over MIDI or whatever.
He did mention that you had some ideas that he was excited to track. So.
I have some ideas that are a lot of them I actually ended up incorporating into that song I finished. So I don't have tons that are outside of that now. But
That's cool though.
But yeah, so it's been a very creative like 6 months
Wow.
or 4 months maybe,
That's awesome.
which I'm not normally in like such a creative mindset, but whether it's music or woodworking or
yeah.
I want to start drawing because I have a piece of art that I want to make. I have no idea how I'm going to do it.
We'll
But
figure it out.
yeah, so Courtney's
That's
like,
so
you
cool,
can
dude.
do it. You know that, right? I'm like, yes, I know I can do it. I don't know how I'm going to find the time. So yeah,
cool, Kyle.
it's been really fun. It was kind of related to the when you can either consciously or subconsciously see the genuine nature of somebody's
Yeah.
art. I've been very inspired by some of it. I don't know what I've been inspired for. The San Juan frame was just because I knew how much it was going to mean to Courtney.
Yeah.
Like that was a huge inspiration, and like
Has
there.
she seen that yet?
Oh yeah, because it was for Christmas, and I put like a note. I metal stamped a note into like where it hangs onto the wall, like so you can't see it unless it's off the wall. But whether it was when I thought of what it was going to be.
Yeah.
That almost brought me to tears. When she saw it, that brought her or both of us to tears.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
awesome.
like when I finally because I had the stupid map because it's a map, and I had like it laying face down because I had to put all the stuff together.
Yeah.
At the end, and when I finally got that thing stood up and on like a rack so I could transport it, I was crying.
That's
It was
awesome,
ridiculous,
dude. That's
But yeah,
awesome.
it
I can't
was-
wait to see it.
It was very cool.
That kind of stuff is like weirdly fulfilling, even if it's like, even if it feels small, especially for you guys. Like any of you guys doing like a very personal thing like that, I could imagine. I don't know, but I would imagine wouldn't feel that like grandiose because you've written songs that thousands or hundreds of thousands of people have heard.
We don't think about that shit.
Not at all.
At least I don't.
That doesn't occur
cross
to you?
your mind,
Like-
Parker, right?
Like I wrote a song or I contributed to a song, whatever, that however many hundreds of thousands of people heard.
No.
No, because
I
like
don't really think
what
about
we
it.
do in our
don't
daily
know.
life takes more precedent and more like mental capacity every day.
Yeah.
I think. So we don't think about it. The only time that I think about it is when it's like brought to our attention. Like
do
we
you
were
mean?
talking about before, like when it's like, oh, you like, God, who do we tour with? We've toured with some bands and like they've come up to us and been like, oh man, I grew up listening to your music. It's like, what the fuck? Like what?
Why?
Like,
writing that music.
We're the same age. What are you talking about? But that's like those are really the only moments, and that's mind blowing when it's like bands that are on tour with it. Because I remember that feeling, touring with bands that you grew up listening
that
to,
inspired you.
yeah, and like had a really big impact on you, and then for somebody to say the same thing about you is really weird.
Yeah.
I would imagine
It's
that's
a
mindfuck.
big ego boost. It
Yeah.
truly is. Like there is that part of you that's like, wow, I really like impacted someone's like my
I
part
did
in
that.
it. My part in it was so small, because it's a band thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are really the only times where it's brought to your attention, where it's like, oh, Saloon really inspired me. You're like, why?
Yeah. There's like moments though, like I would say one of the things I'm most proud of, ongoing concept wise, would be the lyrics to Failures and Fakes.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time on that.
I
That's my favorite podcast.
As
I
you can
love
see in the
I love
documentary.
the lyrics to that song. they're not perfect, but they are. There's definitely like the immaturity aspect of it too, which is almost kind of makes me laugh at this point. Like that I'm humble enough to say that I've messed up.
There's
even
a plank
though I'm
in
not
my eye,
humble
but
enough
I'm
to say
willing
that.
to admit it. Yeah.
Like the more, and that's kind of like the little bit of the play in Failures and Fakes again, where how does it go? But admitting it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the realization of like, yeah, you can say that you're screwed up and you can, you know, try to take the plank out of your own eye before removing the speck out of your neighbor's or whatever, you know, and that's kind of all well and good, but at some point it's also like, no, you have to turn around and change too. So I don't know, but that Failures and Fakes song, that was a pretty big understanding of myself at that time. Like it was a pretty good like mapping out of my moral character or whatever at that time. So like it's really like a cool snapshot of who I was back then or something like that.
I feel like that song has, because I remember when you were doing your pacing, writing the lyrics for that, and because you kept coming up to me and being like, is this a good idea? Is this cool? Like, because you were waiting till it was like nearly finished, but you would show me like sections that you had finished. And it's so weird because when Dawson and I talk about that song, he has such a disdain for that song.
Oh, really?
Because I remember fights in John, where we were recording that records at his dad's house in the basement, in that little room where Dawson was his goblin style.
His rat room.
Yeah, his rat room.
You go in there, it smells like death.
But I have like memories of you guys screaming at each other over that song. So it's fascinating.
About the lyrics or about the like,
about the structure of the song, because it goes into like the punk dun, 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 part, and there was a lot of contention about like the structure of the song, but the lyrics were yours for sure.
I mean, there was definitely, I had to work around his chorus.
Yeah,
because he came up with the chorus, and I was like, oh shit, how am I going to make this work now? But that was really, I think, Dawson's main lyrical input was most or all of the chorus. I can't quite remember now, but
that's generally what we did, though. Is
Yeah.
Dawson wrote the chorus, and then we structured everything else around it.
yeah.
And I think that Failures and Fakes Again is one of the strongest songs on Again, too.
It's my favorite. It always was. Like, from the first time that you sent me the demo T, like, I don't know what it is. In the chorus, there is I think it's an E that's out of key.
No, that's
Or
a harmony.
something.
It's the seventh.
Are you talking
Well, I
about
don't know what it
where
is, but I
it
remember I
goes-
transposed it to MIDI when you sent me the demo, and there was one note that was out of key. It was like
It's-
Phrygian or
it's
some shit.
in-
Well, yeah, because it hits
Oh, is
like
it?
the major third,
Yeah,
but it's actually in the minor.
and it does it the second time, the chorus during the chorus.
I think so.
Yeah.
There was something that stood out to me where it was like, because you guys have always been kind of, I mean, not like traditional songwriting, obviously, but you guys were never like super adventurous when it comes to like,
Like keys
yeah, like
and like outside of the key and
yeah,
stuff.
playing outside of the bounds with that stuff. And the first time I heard that song, there was something that stood out to me where I was like, wait, something is weird here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You will never dead in my heart. That
Yeah.
note,
Yeah,
heart,
yeah.
because that's the major third, and then
Yes.
and it goes back down to the minor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I've been playing around with those sorts of ideas a whole lot more on my own, and I
It
don't.
builds this tension, and
Yeah.
it was like, this is so unique for TOC to do, because even if you guys,
That was all Dawson.
was it?
He pushed for it because we initially actually, that note he sang both times in the chorus, not just the end. But John, who mixed the album,
Yeah.
he was like, no, save it for the last each time. Like, don't hit that note. You want to wait for that note. So it was
No, I love
actually,
it.
and that song is probably the most collaborative on any song
with John.
with John.
Yeah, because he had to like rework a bunch of stuff to make the key work, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
we can edit this out. Remind me of how the chorus of that song goes.
Maybe someday I'll feel like I'm not always falling apart.
It's that part. It's the transition between that.
Yeah.
That the first time I heard that, I got actual legitimate Literal goosebumps.
But it
Yeah.
only happens on the second time.
Yeah.
So, but initially it did happen both times.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give you that feeling if you
Yeah.
hear it both times. So yeah, that was John's input.
It's fucking like it's like I don't know, when you're listening to
Or,
a
sorry,
record
Josh.
like that.
Wow, I've been saying John.
I was like, I feel like
Oh,
it's not
shit.
John, but
Oh my god.
We'll just edit that.
couldn't-
It'll
I
sound
couldn't
totally
remember.
normal. But I remember hearing that for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, these guys are like doing something musically different." Because you guys always like wrote songs different. I mean, like just hearing Saloon for the first time obviously is a mindfuck. But going to that level, I feel like it takes a lot to feel the confidence to go outside of. And I mean, I genuinely don't know if that's out of key or what it is, but it feels different, and I think most people would probably feel that to some extent.
yeah, like I said, I think it is just the major third when
Yeah.
it's based in the minor.
Yeah.
So it's just the out of, yeah. I mean,
But it's different. Like, it sticks out, and to me, hearing you guys do that for the first time in that way, because like Dawson writes a lot where he'll play the tonic. Sorry, listeners, if you hear this, he'll play the tonic, and then he goes a semitone up.
like if you're talking about like a breakdown.
Well, just in anything, like you play an A sharp and then you play a B, which in any key that doesn't work. But Dawson writes a lot like that, and in a lot of metal that's normal.
Yeah.
But just that part, like doing that in a chorus instead of a breakdown or something,
Yeah.
it's fucking kick ass. Failures and Fakes again is my goat. That song is like my ride or die. Because
That's so funny.
it goes so far outside of what you're used to hearing in that kind of a song, where it's like the kind of like poppy metalcore rock thing, and it really does something outside of that. I seriously like that. Hearing that for the first time was genuinely like absolutely mind blowing to me. And I know that's such a basic thing of like, oh yeah,
No.
you guys are like doing weird chromatic shit, or you're going, you're doing harmonic modulation, whatever the fuck it's called. I was like, I'm so fucking proud of you guys that you're stepping outside of the bounds of like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna keep every note in this scale so that Melodyne makes it click.
Small thing. That's so weird because it was kind of like, yeah, okay, we like this how that sounds, and then we moved on. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't a moment of like, oh. So that's funny that you got that.
Well,
from-
I
think-
definitely got that when I heard it the first time.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's cool. That should stay. I think there was a lot of clashing with the
think it's
music underneath it because he didn't know how to.
You know what it
Yeah.
was? Is the lyrics completely changed. So he had different lyrics of it. So the first version of that song that I heard, he did that, but the lyrics were weird, and how he sang it was weird. So I was like, it didn't hit me, and maybe
Yeah.
that's why it wasn't like an aha moment when I first heard it, because the rest of it wasn't there. Like the lyrics and the phrasing weren't exactly the same, because I rewrote the lyrics for that, and then.
Okay.
So maybe that's why I didn't feel the way that Kyle felt, because I heard
Feel how
what I wanted
feel,
to
feel how I
change.
feel. I mean, feel free to edit this out, but for me, like having been writing songs for a while, at the point that I heard that song, that particular moment in that track made me feel like, because I know I had written shit up to that point that was kind of going outside of the bounds. You know, like playing with those weird modulations and kind of like playing outside of your key or whatever to like generate that weird feeling
Yeah.
that sticks out. To me, that was like super validating, because I was like, oh shit, I've done literally the same thing where I've like, you know, switched from something being minor to major or whatever, or the opposite. And to hear you guys do it, and I have so much respect, and like I just know that you guys know what you're doing and you're writing a song, even if you guys don't feel that way.
No,
Well, it's weird. Like,
that's
but-
so
but-
funny, because Dawson and I are like the least. Like,
Yeah, but you guys know
We
it
write
sounds
from-
good.
we
But
write
for
from
me to be
feeling, though.
so new to it, and knowing that I've done the same thing and then switched it, thinking that it sounded, I liked how it sounded, but then like having that second guessing experience, because everybody that's ever written a song or done any creative pursuit has felt that way of like, I like this, but will anybody else like this? You know what I mean? Seeing somebody else, especially somebody close to me, do that, I was like, this is fucking kick-ass, and now I have permission to do the same shit.
That's weird.
I think that like music, as commercialized as it is, and as like as it's represented in terms of, you know, sending it to an audience and playing it in front of an audience and all that stuff, the place that it starts from is always so interesting to me. And I really wish that more people were more transparent about that. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
How did it originate? Like, what was the actual, like, seed of this idea?
I feel like that's the, like, a lot of the commercialized stuff doesn't feel like it has any meaning.
Like it was written to be popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess that probably goes back to the genuine thing that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Where the people can sense the genuine in the song or in the music. But yeah, like the where it came from, even if it's not some sort of promotional or whatever you want to call it, like handmade with the drums, you know, where it's not some sort of, I can't think of the word
I don't know
right
what
now.
you're talking
Gimmick.
about, Kyle. What about the drums on
Gimmick,
Handmade?
yeah,
What
like
is
a
there?
promotional gimmick or whatever. But when it has, when you know when it means something to somebody, and if you can convey that enough, then it's going to keep people listening, I think. At least people that want to listen to something genuine. Because I think a lot of people don't, like Zach Welter. I remember him saying something like he doesn't like NF because the lyrics are so heavy all the time.
It's
and I'm just
a
like,
lot.
that's why I love him. Like that's like, because you can feel, I mean, unless you're talking about the Red Bull gives me wings, that song's a party song, but you know, a lot of his stuff is you can, like, you know there's something there. Even like for me, I have a hard time like deciphering what lyrics mean and shit, but it doesn't matter if somebody actually means something when they write a song. It's conveyed through the way that they sing. It's conveyed through the music. So it's like that to me. That's what keeps me coming back. Not the vibes I get just because I want it to be lighthearted and fun. You know, like I don't really care too much
the
about
way
that.
that it's interpreted, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of room for interpretation, but I don't think you can get around the interpretation if it's not genuine. Like it's too easy to see if it's a fake, in my opinion. So there's a place for that stuff because it's fun and it's light, but I'm way more interested in the stuff that means something to somebody.
Yeah, but you need so I understand because I consume all like spectrums of emotional music. So I'm here for something stupid as fuck just to like have a good feeling from.
Yeah, you would probably regard it as being more superficial though.
Yeah. But the feeling that I get from it isn't.
Yeah. Tina, you're much better, I think, at processing these things as equal.
Well,
like,
okay,
you can take
but I
whatever for what it is.
understand, like, something that is crafted for the mainstream and for a commercial audience is very different than something that is a singular vision. But, like, you can't deny the emotion that you get from listening to it. At least for me. Like, I can listen to, like, a top 40 song, maybe not as much right now, because I don't like it, but
like I said, there's a time and a place for it, like for sure.
Yeah, like I can listen to like TikTok by Kesha and like have a good time because it's the vibe for this. But like, and then I can go into NF and like hear him cry about his mom dying, and also like all those emotions like are needed. It's kind of like you can't have the good without the bad. There's no light without the dark. I don't know. I like the whole spectrum of the music.
I would say that you are uniquely positioned at like taking those things on the level. Like a lot of people are kind of into one or the other. You're really good at absorbing either one for what it is.
Even something like Dua Lipa, her music, the production of it.
I'm sorry, do you mean Doopy Loops?
Dua Loops. Dua Loops. She, the production alone is worth listening to. Like if you're interested in production and just like some of like the sub bass stuff, some of like the disco parts and like the samples that they use and how they like. Just like the percussion is really fascinating. So I can listen to it and dissect it that way analytically. Yeah. But I can also listen to a song like cool and just like vibe out.
I mean, just writing it off entirely is kind of disingenuous, I think.
But I also understand that some things are created for mass pleasure. but I don't also think that there's something wrong with that. Like,
No.
I think there's a time and a
so.
place
Yeah.
for. But I also am hypocritical because I could hear something and just be like, "This is garbage." So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's about the feeling. It's not about genre. It's about feeling. Like, if a song gives me a feeling, then I'm here for it.
So what's the difference? Like, because like I would say, like some really good pop songs are "Natalie" by Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that song? Because to me, that doesn't like
What's up with that?
'cause that doesn't
What the
fit into the. It doesn't feel like it's supposed to be like a top 40, although it probably could have been. I don't think it was.
No.
But or like Cheyenne by Derillo, right?
Oh yeah.
What's up with that song? Like, there's just something. there's something more
What's
to some of
next?
those
What's
pop
up?
songs that it really like. I love those songs, even though they're probably.
Kyle, you're a basic bitch.
Is that what it is?
But
No.
I think anybody can find that. Like, if
Yeah.
you listen to enough music, like, I'll show you something. We don't have the same music taste, Cooper.
No.
But like, I'll find something that's like, even if it's not the genre that you like, but there's like an element to it that you can appreciate and like dive into it. And that's like Sleep Token recently. Like,
Yeah.
some of their shit, like, I've been getting into, and I don't put their records on, but they have so many moments that give me like,
Yeah.
fuck, like that feeling of just like, holy shit, like,
Yeah.
this song is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's not something I would choose to listen to in general, but those moments of those songs, like, I
Yeah.
can always find something to appreciate for the most part.
I try to do that for sure. Like,
And if I can focus on it enough and I can find those little parts of something,
yeah.
then the whole thing might make sense too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. It's called, as you know, at this point, Failures and Fakes. Not the song we were talking about.
Again.
Again. If you want to listen to Failures and Fakes again, you can listen to that song. It's a song by The Ongoing Concept. They're my favorite band ever in the world. I have no affiliation with them.
No nepotism.
No nepotism happening at all. I love my older brother TJ. He's so cool. Anyway, thanks for listening to our podcast. Special shout out, I think, talked a lot about our lovers.
What are we, Silent Planet?
Yeah. Thank you, Silent Planet. Thank you to everybody in the Discord. Thank you to everybody who decided to give us money at patreon.com/theongoingconcept. Definitely not like an ad or anything. I've been your hostess with the mostest, and I've been your drunkle, your uncle, and your funkle, Cooper Nichols. I've been joined by Tyler, TJ, Kenny Nichols.
It's weird for you to call me your older brother.
Well, that's a fucking
I know it's a
bitch.
fact, but like, it's just weird to hear.
I've been joined by my younger brother, TJ Tyler Kenny Nichols. Is that better? Do you like that?
No, I it's just weird.
By my
I don't
equal
know.
brother, who is no
Yeah,
more or
my
less than me.
equal.
TJ Tyler Kenny Nichols. I've also been joined by Kyle Schultz.
I mean, I would say Parker's my younger brother and my subordinate.
Well, that's just racist.
Submit.
No, I was
Submissive subordinate.
what? You know what we should have done, or maybe you can still. I doubt you can. But when this all started back up again, what was it, like 3 months ago when we did the first one?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
August.
We should have just changed the name to Failures and Fakes again.
I thought about it.
Did you?
We
Yeah,
did
but
think
it like
about
has to have a new podcast feed and everything. I don't
Yeah.
want to pay for that shit.
Oh, well then that
Poor.
doesn't make. So it's technically Failures and Fakes again, but we're just not calling it that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Street name Failures and Fakes.
That's
again.
right, street name.
Official name Failures and Fakes. Episode 42 or 43. I don't know. I've
and
also been joined by Parker Schultz.
Barely.
My New Year's resolution is to get some camo Crocs.
Some pussy.
name brand.
Not Shark Ridges or whatever the fuck it's
No,
called.
These are good though.
What are they called?
Rugged Shark.
Rugged Shark.
Thank you, Rugged Sharks, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. Thank you for Angela Shinkarenko for bearing with us. Shout out to the real ones, the OGs. All right, are we out?
Thank you, Mr. Keith.
Thank you, Mr. Keith. Did he die? Mr. Keith! Bye!
Failures and Fakes is made possible by viewers and listeners and whatever else just like you. Patreon.com/theongoingconcept. Thanks. Thank you Ace, thank you Josh, thank you Nathaniel, thank you Luke, and thank you Todd, and thank you Samuel, thank you Tori, thank you Kim, that's my mom, thank you Mom, thank you Hunter, thank you Positive Metalhead. There was no good way to phrase that, so I decided just to phrase that. Thank you Kevin, and also thank you Steven. This was political, so I'm not gonna say it even. No way. Thank you John, and thank you Paul, and thank you James, and thank you Dave, thank you Patrick. And also as well, thank you in addition Ben, and thank you to the other guy that's also called Steven. Also thank you me because I also subscribe, so I get credit too, so haha.